Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening. And here he is running up and down the banners and the brands to find out how to turn this off. Oh, there we go. There it is. Ah, this is the buttons. You press one button and you forget what you've pressed, and all of a sudden you have something sticking over your face. Welcome. Good evening to you all. Let's have a look at who's already in there. We got Puffin and we got Angela and we got Lynn already. And I hadn't even finished the intro. Welcome to you all. Lovely to see you here on this Thursday night, Spirit Quest, 16th of March, which means one day to go before St. Patrick's Day. So tomorrow, don't even bother thinking about ringing me, okay? You can message me, you can leave a message, you can leave an audio message. The likelihood of me getting to it, not very high. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Roger Garza Sr. is in the. He says, "We are here." You notice that? We are here. He always talks about the beautiful Faye. They never go, they very rarely apart. I love that. So Roger and Faye are in the house as well. Angela's here, Lynn is here, and Puffin's here. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much for being here so quickly, so poignantly. So welcome. So tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day? I'm going to talk about a couple of bits and pieces in how St. Patrick is connected here to the Southwest. Fantastic. Um, I love, absolutely and totally love history. I love listening, learning stuff about history. So Vanessa has joined us. Angela Barson has joined us. Lovely to see. And Jordan's birthday, he's 19. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Jordan, at 19. Phil Tahoe's joined us. Welcome, Phil. And as Lynn is saying there, get out there, guys. Share the show. Tell everybody where we are. If you're watching me on Facebook, Lynn, then zip across to YouTube and come and join me on YouTube. If you haven't already, come in on YouTube. Just literally click out of Facebook, click into YouTube at the very top of the, as YouTube opens up, you'll see a little search bar. Type in Paul Francis Medium, and it will take you straight back to my show. And the great thing about coming in via YouTube is there are no restrictions. Facebook won't switch you off, and there are no negatives. And I couldn't believe it, but I read in the news that Facebook has terminated over 2,000 people in their workforce. 2,000 people in their workforce. You know why that is? It's because they're going to turn everything AI, artificial intelligence. I don't believe there's such things as artificial intelligence. I just think it's programmed to do a specific job. And from what I can see on Facebook, it isn't that clever. Alrighty. So at this moment in time, we're heading over. We're going to be pretty much 100% for the time being doing our shows via YouTube. So that's why I'm really kind of telling everybody to come across to YouTube and watch the show from there, because Facebook apparently part of the way through the shows are just cutting it off. I'm telling people I've decided about who I'm going to allow on the show, which is absolute rubbish. It's not the case at all. I haven't done that. Ellen Backman has joined us. Ellen, good evening, darling. Welcome to the show. As always, don't forget, please, especially Ellen there, you come out of Facebook, go into YouTube, top of YouTube in the search bar, you'll see a little search bar. Type in Paul Francis Medium. It'll take you right back here to where we are right now. But the good thing about it is if you subscribe, please subscribe. If you're watching me through YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. And so every time I release stuff and every time there's something new comes out, you will be told about it. And when there's a show about to happen, so in the next, if I, for example, set up Monday night show today, you'll be notified that Monday night show is going to happen. It'll tell you. So best thing to do is get onto YouTube. You don't have to pay for a subscription on YouTube at all. No, you don't. They're asking you, do you want to pay for a subscription to listen to music? You don't have to do that. So whoever this is, that's not true. YouTube is free. It's free of charge. So you're misreading it. It's asking you, do you want to pay for a subscription to be able to listen to music without adverts, and so you just say no, I don't want to do that. But YouTube itself is free, so go across and subscribe on YouTube. Satina, welcome to the show. Mary Erickson, welcome to the show. Lovely to see. Oh, Eileen's jumped into YouTube. You see, she knows which side her bread is butter. She boom in. I'm in there. Dawn Hatsam, good evening, darling. Welcome to you. Lovely to see you here. Thanks very much for being here. As always, appreciate it. So here we are, Spirit Quest. Okay, but they asked me for money. No, they didn't. You're misreading it. They're asking you, do you want to subscribe to YouTube for listening to without adverts? That's what they're asking you for. So YouTube is free of charge itself, the normal YouTube. So don't worry about that. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, so here we are. This is the 16th, so it's the night before St. Patrick's. So what do you guys actually celebrate St. Patrick's wherever you are around the world? Do you have Irish, Irish blood tickling through those veins somewhere along the lines, Irish ancestors, or do you just support, the St. Patrick's Day because of the wonderful celebration that it is? Do you understand who St. Patrick was? Do you understand what he did? Did you know that St. Patrick was actually English initially? So there's a lot of stuff that you guys. So I got another Dream Lady says, I'm Irish. There you go. You see, only the chosen few. Where are we? This lovely person says, can you see me? That's all I can see. Look. Hi, Paul. Can you see me? But all I see is Facebook user. I'm really sorry. That's why I'm sort of saying to everybody, get yourselves across to YouTube, go into YouTube, and then I'll be able to see you all the rest of the icons that come up there. Christine McCracken's in the house. Hello, Christine. Good evening. Dream Lady, good evening to you too, and welcome to the show, y'all. Kate Hartson, good evening and welcome. Hi. And we got another lovely person saying, hey, I'm Irish Italian. Double trouble. Irish Italian. I'm going to say that you got to be connected in the United States then, if Irish Italian. Well, I suppose that's not really true, but most Irish Italians that I know, a lot of Irish Italians, and they call me up, hey, Paul, how you doing, huh? Hey, how you doing? And they're lovely, lovely, absolutely beautiful people, but I just love the way they talk to me. Hey, how you doing today, huh? And that's Irish Italians. Love it. Absolutely love it. And you can talk to me all day. Faye is in the house. Hello, Faye. Welcome to the show. And I love it when Roger speaks to Faye and he puts on what he thinks is an Irish accent. In fact, you know what I do? I should bring Roger onto the show tonight so you can just listen to his Irish accent. That just makes me happy. It makes me really, really happy. Because it sounds like a very drunk Scottishman, and then it kind of bends towards Scotty from Starship Enterprise. So it's kind of cool, and I love them both of them. They're just wonderful, wonderful human beings. Okay, so what's the YouTube channel? So you literally go into YouTube. You just click open YouTube, go up to the search bar at the very top, and just type in Paul Francis Medium. That's all you got to type in. Just Paul Francis Medium, and you're there. It'll take you straight back to where we are, right here. Dawn Haddam says it's a great day for a sup. And to the Americans, will be going, "What's a sup?" Well, it's a day when you get extremely inebriated. Most Irish people, and not all, this one won't be, but most Irish people won't be fit to talk to tomorrow evening, shall we say. Most Irish people will probably be like this. Most, not all. Christine McCracken says, good evening. Good evening to you too, Christine, and welcome. Oh, look who's in the house. Sue Vinicum. Sue's here. Hi, darling. Listen, I want you to you all do me a favor and send Sue all your love, all your strength, and all your healing. And just say to her, don't ask a question, just say to her, everything's going to be perfect. Dream Lady says, a lot here in Rhode Island. Oh, yes, indeedy. It's I've got a lot of one of the guys who's promoting my tour in the United States. He's hey Paul, how you doing? Yeah. I talk to Russ all day. I love the way he speaks. Hey, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And you know they sound like they want to fight with it, but their hearts are full of love. Love it. Marlene Bolton, hey, and blessings to you too. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Loretta Lewis, hi everyone. I'm not too sure Loretta speaks like that. That just came out. I have no idea why that came out, but welcome. You sounded like the Cookie Monster then. Christine says, face red, heart shape. Face red, heart shape. Face blue smiling. Oh, I take it she's hitting the icons. I know what you're doing. You're hitting those little doojima flips. I got it. And Christine is, shall we say, leaking. Most Irishmen will be talking like Roger later on that day. Actually, most Irishmen will be talking. Hey! That's most Irishmen. We tend to do that. We get to the point when words don't work anymore and just sounds come out. And I'm who was saying it? Maya said to me earlier, so Dad, would you probably been going out with your pals on St. Patrick's Day? God, yeah. And so what you do? Oh, you get together, we sit and we talk to each other and we have a great time. And then we continue to talk to each other and we have an even better time. Then we continue to talk to each other and tell each other how much we love each other. And then we continue to talk to each other. And then we tell each other we'll never ever leave. We will be pals and brothers forever. And then after that part, you get to the part where you go, good evening, Maria. Welcome to the show. It is a pleasure to see you. I hope you're feeling a lot better. I didn't want to disturb you when I know you had that fall. I do hope you're feeling a lot better, my darling. Great to see you here. Thank you for being here. Mary sending healing and strength to Sue. Yes, do everybody send healing and strength to our pal Sue tonight, and she's going to be absolutely fine. But you know what? A little bit of extra health and a little bit of extra healing never hurts, does it? This is an Irishman holding up a glass of water, wishing you all a very happy St. Patrick's Day for tomorrow. Maria said, "Nice haircut." Yeah, well, I said just a bit of a short back and sides, and she only heard the short bit. So, the last bit there, Dawn says, sounded very Cornish. Yeah, yeah, probably. That's all the Celtic. When Celtic people have been well inebriated, we just make sounds like barnyard animals. So Julie Sharp goes, "Oh my God, I think I've done it." Oh yes. Good evening, Julie. Welcome to the show. Now that you're on there, subscribe. It's free. It's free. Just subscribe. Click the little bell icon will come up on the side of it. Click that bell icon, and what'll happen there is basically, you will be told anytime there's a new show or I release freebies up onto YouTube. You'll be told all about it, free of charge. Morning bonus is St. Patrick's Day here because she's in Australia, so she's 12 hours ahead. So it's already to everybody in the southern hemisphere a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day to you, and may you have a phenomenal day. And may what was it? My dad used to say, my mom used to say it as well. May you be a half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. That's the one. May you be a half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. And the other one was, may the road rise up to meet you. I never understood that one. Because I see visually, so I see the road bending up like that. In which case, most people will go, huh? So, Kimmy has joined us. Kimmy, are you doing readings today? No. Lynn, positive. Sue, Christine, Faye, hit the thumbs up. That's it. Keep whacking away at that, all that stuff. But don't forget to like the show. Like. Jojo Walsh has joined us. Jojo, good evening. Welcome to the show. I prefer your hair longer, says Kate. But now that someone else has mentioned your hair, I brave the comment. It's fine. That's absolutely fine. Weirdly enough, I like it a bit. Mm, as we get into the warmer weather, it when you're inside working in studios, it gets you get headaches with the longer hair. But every now and again, I really like a good tight haircut. Kind of just all the pressure just lifts. So, love and light to you, Marlene. Um, so there, I've caught up with everybody. So it's fantastic. So Spirit Quest, as Spirit Quest is, it's about communicating. It's about me talking to you, talking to me, and we talking to each other. So it is so wonderful to see everybody in the room tonight. Your feedback on the show is much appreciated. And listen, constructive criticism is something I'm very, very, very happy to take on board. Um, I will look at constructive criticism and I will say, yeah, oh, that's quite cool. Or, oh, that's an idea. I'll give that a go. Some people will give me ideas which fit more for Reach Across and don't fit Spirit Quest. So if that's the case, then I will implement those on Reach Across. So the whole idea is to create shows that you guys have as much input on as more than I sort of literally just go right, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. Call John has a question. Call John has a question. Maria, what does that mean? Who's Call John? He would like to know what do all Irish Catholics do when St. Patrick's Day falls on Good Friday, if they can eat meat and how. No, no, on Good Friday, well, Catholics don't eat meat on Good Friday. It's fish, and you're only allowed 3 meals in that day. If I would go back to my memory, I'm what John Edward actually coined this phrase. It wasn't me. John Edward said it. He said, I'm a recovering Catholic. In other words, the doctorate isn't the bit that really kind of holds me. The concept of spiritualism is absolute, but the doctorate doesn't make sense. So that falls on the doctorate, and doesn't make sense to me. So thing about it is, way back in the days of when Jesus walked the earth 2,000 years ago, if a piece of meat was available to you, you bloody ate it. It just so happens that they lived by the ocean, and that's why they had fish. Makes sense, doesn't it? So there we go. If they all said to the lads in the last summer, do you fancy a bit of chicken? They're all going, oh, we all have some of that. As it happens, there we go. So Sue saying, happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome, my darling. My daughter Emma had her baby daughter, Catelyn, last Monday. Congratulations to you and your family. It means my phone is retarded. Like it. I love it. So anyway, please share the show. That it's listen, I'm trying. We've got something like, hang on for 2 seconds. I'll be able to tell you in 2 seconds what we've got. We have he says, quickly trying to find out. We have 562 subscribers on YouTube right now. Okay. Would you guys help me in making that 5,562? Come on, help me do that. Get out there, spread the word, get people to come on board and get them to subscribe and hit the like buttons on all the videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icons. Now, the more of you guys go out there and do that for me, the more I'm going to be very, very grateful by showing my gratefulness by saying, right, I'm going to give away free t-shirts. I'm going to give away free baseball hats. I'm going to give away free beanies. I'm going to give away free reading times. I'm going to give away a load of freebies. I'm going to invite you out on seminars. You might get special guests to any of the shows that I'm doing in the theaters. You might be invited onto set when I'm filming. There's a load of freebies going to be happening. And it's all for you guys who get out there and help me make this, and help Lynn as well. And Lynn's out there working literally every single day. In fact, I'm going to tell you the truth. I have to say to Lynn, stop working. Take a day off. Oh, I enjoy it. I don't care. That's not what I asked you. Take time off. Spend it with your family. Julia Evans goes, evening all. Good evening, Julia, and welcome. There are no cave paintings of salads, says Dawn Adam. I like that. There are no cave paintings of salads. I love that. Great. So tonight's show, what is it all about? Well, first and foremost, it's coming to you live on 105.3 to 107.7. Paul, get your head together. Thank you. FM coming to you live from New Orleans, right through the FM airwaves. So all of the people in New Orleans and listening to the sound of my voice tonight, a very, very happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. May you enjoy the day to its fullest and have a long, loving, safe time with your family. The next show coming up will be Reach Across, of course, which is coming up following Monday night. So you guys will have the weekend all to yourselves, with the exception of Saturday morning if you're in the United States, in which you have to take the time out, get yourself a huge big mug of coffee, and join Roger and Faye for This Mug's For You. Now, Amelia and Michelle will be coming out later on tonight with their show right after this one. In fact, with Outer Limits, or sorry, not Outer Limits, Outer Realms, Outer Realms. Make sure you stick around to watch Amelia and Michelle's show right after this. They are just fantastic presenters with an amazing show. So make sure you do that. Lindsay Hill said, "Love listening to you, Paul. You're so calming and such a turbulent time that I'm going." Lindsay, thank you so very, very much for sharing that. I'm glad I'm of help to you, and let's use positive energy. Let's use positive love and light, strength and positive thoughts, and get that turbulent time to just move past. All right. So tonight's show, as you guys know, is Spirit Quest. So therefore, you literally choose the first half or the second half of what we're going to talk about. So the first half I was going to talk about was literally about St. Patrick's Day, about the positivity of what it's entailed and who St. Patrick was. But you know what? We can talk about that together. St. Patrick was actually a fairly wealthy man initially. And he was here in the UK. Then he went on to actually become a priest, in which case he was then sent across to Ireland. And he had to do a lot of his preaching underground. So because it was illegal to be a priest in Ireland, of all the countries in the world, yes. I'm obviously making this entire lifetime extremely short. There's a lot to it. And if you ever get this, there's actually a movie about St. Patrick, and it's an amazing movie. But not only is it tell you some serious history about Ireland, but it shows you some beautiful places in Ireland that you would never get to see just for everyday visiting, because you're not there long enough. But then St. Patrick, it's said that he drove all of the snakes out of Ireland. I love those wonderful little things. You think, you see, I've seen pictures of St. Patrick and all the snakes running in front of him, trying to get out of the way, and he drove them into the ocean and off they went. But then it is said that St. Patrick traveled from Ireland to Cornwall on a big stone. Once again, those magnificent tales, how he's able to sail a stone right across the ocean. Good on him. But the fact is, historians have found out that St. Patrick and St. Piran, who is the patron saint of Cornwall, is actually the same person. So St. Patrick and St. Piran was actually the same guy. He's the patron saint of Ireland and Cornwall, which are both Celtic. Don't you just love it? I love it. Now, as I say, I've not picked up on every single fact on that. I just picked up on the facts which I could demonstrate tonight and share with you. The point of the matter is St. Patrick went out of his way to help as many people that were suffering through hunger, suffering through stress and lack of just normal everyday life that we would take for granted. So what does he teach us? He teaches the opportunity to be able to do that today. But there's so much distrust in the world. It's kind of really, really sad. I don't know if I shared this the other day or not, but we were walking along. There was a girl sitting in Truro, in the city near where we live, and she was tucked into a doorway, and she was sitting there on a blanket with a little mug to collect change, basically begging. And I looked over, and I looked, and I carried on. And Maya said, "Dad, do you not think we should help her?" And I said, Maya, did you look at the situation? And she says, what do you mean? I said, okay, look over there again and tell me what you see. And she looked over at the girl and she says, that she's hungry. She's not wearing very nice clothes. And so Maya sees, she sees the beauty. She sees the what she wants to see. She wants to see what I'll start that again. She wants to see what she can change, what she can do for the person. And and I said, right, okay. I said, now look again. And this is, she's like looking at me now like I have literally lost my mind. And she's going, what? I said, look again and tell me what you see. And she looked over and she's like, okay, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. I see the girl sitting over there. She's got the little cup. She's trying to beg. Um, I said, you didn't see it, did you, baby? She goes, no. I said, what has she got in her hand? And she had the latest iPhone. Okay. And I said, some people just cannot be trusted, my darling. And she goes, I said, how can a girl who has no apparently home to go to, sitting on a blanket, trying to collect money, be on a top of the range iPhone and talking to somebody? She went, oh, I didn't see that. I said, I know that because you wanted to see the good in everybody and I don't want to change that. So I said to her, giving people money isn't the answer. Giving them a hand up is. She says, what do you mean by that? I said, it's better that we take our money, go round the corner and buy them a sandwich and a drink and say, here, because that means that they'll be able to use that for its best possible purposes. Do you understand me? She goes, I got you, Dad. Now, the reason why I become very, shall we say, distrusting in certain areas of life is that I have done work with very acclaimed doctors, teeth specialists, eye specialists, and a lot of people in those fields. I mean, top of the range guys who all said to me, do not give your money to XYZ charities. I said, why? He said, because I work for them and the money doesn't get there. The money does not get to where it's supposed to go. I said, really? He said, yeah, I've been out there. I went out to give my time for free. I did this for them for free. I did that for free, blah, 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 blah. And pretty much all the money that you give doesn't get there. Angela says, we give out phones to the homeless. I'm pretty confident you don't give out brand spanking new, top of the range iPhones to the homeless. Pretty confident you don't do that. Nina says, Nina Elizabeth says, hi from Newcastle. Nina, welcome. And I love it's really, really sad. The last time when I see Newcastle, first and foremost, I love Geordies, love them. I can listen to the Geordies talk all day. They kind of sing to me. It's a very homely place and homely accent. But the last time I was actually in Newcastle and I was up there at work was the night Diana died. That's how, unfortunately, at this moment in time, I can remember Newcastle until I tour in the UK again and I get the opportunity to work in Newcastle. The last time I was in Newcastle was the night that Princess Diana died. And I had to drive from Newcastle to Cornwall the following day on the Sunday. And I could probably have counted the cars on the road from there to all the way back down to Cornwall. And all of the radio stations were down. I remember having to, I'll tell you how long ago I had to play tapes in the car. No, CDs. I had CDs. I work with the homeless in the streets of Newcastle. Nina, thank you for all of the work you guys do. Very much, I'm not saying don't be charitable. That's not what I said. Don't take me the wrong way. I'm not saying for any second do not be charitable, but be charitable in a way that 100% of what you intend gets to the right place. So we have created a thing called the Quiet Corner. And the Quiet Corner is going to be, it's primarily designed and was primarily focused on cancer patients. Okay, that was the primary function of creating the Quiet Corner. And it was created around children's cancer, then obviously adults cancer, because I'm a cancer patient, Johanna's a cancer patient. And the idea for creating the Quiet Corner was the cancer patients are not the only sufferers in the family. You got the person who is experiencing the cancer and going through cancer and cancer treatment, but the people that actually suffer equally are the families, because when actually, I mean, I had cancer and I knew what it was like, and I went through it all, and I went through many months of radiation therapy and all these other different therapies and what have you. But when Johanna went down sick, I felt useless, literally useless. So we created the quiet corner so that people had somewhere to go to talk to, with other people who are experiencing the same issues. Hence the name, Quiet Corner. So that is being designed and put together as we speak, literally. And we've got a lot of people who want to, big, huge businessmen who want to be a part of it. The funds that we get for the Quiet Corner, we intend to buy like hospital machinery, scanners, and we intend to build medical facilities, and we intend to build shelters, and it's going to be huge, and it's also going to be worldwide. So that's where we are at the moment. I feel really bad in, we I used to do so much for cancer charities, and then to be told by all the professionals, don't it doesn't get to where it's going. The best thing to do is do it on your doorstep with the people who need it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Angela says, no, I said, Paul, pay attention or I'll slap you again. No, I didn't say iPhones. Wasn't calling out. You're right. I was stating that there are places to get that give out phones. The thing about that is, I would say, hey, first and foremost, I am not judging. I'm not qualified to judge anything or anybody. Okay, there's only one person I'm qualified to judge: me. Okay, so, and that's a hard thing to do, by the way. That is actually a really difficult thing to do. Honestly, judge yourself. Try it. Don't, because what you'll do is you'll sit down and you'll judge yourself on what you think other people think, and that's not what it's about. It's about what you think. Okay, what you think about yourself, and that's where I did that. If you remember, some time back, I did that exercise. All the things you like about yourself, all the things you don't like yourself. That's part of that whole treatment. So, in my personal opinion, Angela, only me, I'm not saying this should be, I'm just saying that if you give someone a phone, they then have to maintain that phone. So they have to put a SIM card in there. They have to spend money on that said SIM card. They have to spend money getting the phone charged, and so on and so forth. I would think it is better to take people off the street. Now, there's no reason why we can't, because there was nobody on the streets during COVID. So there's no reason we can't do this. So we take them off the streets, we train them, or we point them towards self-sufficiency. Now, what I mean by that is, if you go back to the parable, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And that's kind of where I go now. So let's go back to taking some of the messages that have already been given. So Angela, I know Angela does a lot for charity, and that's phenomenal. I donate to the Salvation Army. Says, I'll just bring it up because it's easier for me to read up here. I donate to the Salvation Army, and they are the only charity in the UK that 100% of the money goes to the people in need. That's correct. That's not the only charity, Lindsay Hill. For an example, I know fact that the Masons, the Freemasons, 100% of the money from the Freemasons go to a multiple of charities. That much I can absolutely assure you on. But it's good that the Salvation Army, they do untold work. I mean, they're so under the radar in what they do, because they're not after being, look at us, aren't we great? They just get on and do it, which is just, my hat's off to them all the time. Caregivers, but Dawn says, I always buy a sandwich or give a blanket. That's it. Socks, all stuff like that. Stuff that's tangible and they can use. People can use. I like to just say to them, hey, listen, are you aware that you can earn a really pile of money by doing something like this? For an example, they're sitting out on little blankets in the cold, but there's multiples of, like, for an example, farmers in the southwest who can't hire, the people won't take the jobs. There's a ton of jobs out there, which will, I think, I try to think from my perspective. If I was on the street, what would I want to do? I'd want to try and get a restart. Most people that I've ever spoken to just want a chance to get started again. So that's where I would like the quiet corner to try and help people get a start. Okay, what do you want to do? Do you know, I've always wanted to work in a kitchen, right? Let's see if we can get you in as a KP initially and start getting you trained to do certain level of chefing, get you back to college, and let's get you kickstarted. Let's make it happen. I'm a big believer in that. Jojo Watch, Ashley. Let's go back to that. Lindsay also donates to the hospices and the RNLI. Lindsay, you're an absolute rock star. Um, Ashley Thomas, Jojo Walsh, Inbox me. Oh, for God's sake, we got another one of these idiots. Look. Uh, so what you want to do is you don't want to deal with that Ashley Thomas because they're the ones that actually rip you off. So my advice is do not go anywhere near that Ashley Thomas. Anybody who comes on here like that are clearly thieves, right? So, all right, let's come all the way down. Paul, you have a hacker on your chat, Ashley Thomas, yeah. So Lynn's probably jumped on already because I can't see how to block that idiot. Oh, there we go. There. Block that person. And if you could, guys, just report that Ashley Thomas for me, that'd be fantastic. Thanks. Anyway, so let's get on. No longer am I going to allow negative energy to flow over me. Silver Lady's joined us. Hi, Silver Lady. Come on, Silver Lady, take my word. I tell that song is one of my favorites. It's in my top 20 all-time favorite songs. Nina says exactly right. That's our goal, to help people deal with their addictions and mental health first. Nina, absolutely couldn't agree with you more. People really, really want. I mean, most people that I've encountered in my life do not like charity. They don't like it. They want to they want to be able to really ride the wave themselves. So they're really kind of looking just for a little hand to get up and ride that wave. So let's try and do that. Wish I could stay longer. Why, Faye? Don't go. Hope to see you on Saturday. Faye, don't leave us. Don't leave us. Julia Evans says, cancer free for nearly 4 years. Get in there, girl. Good on you. Good on you. Trudy says, Silver Lady was the first single I ever bought. Yes. Do you remember who sang it? Which famous person sang? And they're all going on to Google now. But can you remember, without going to Google, who sang Silver Lady? I knit bonnets for premature babies. Oh, get away, Julia. Oh, Johanna and I are looking forward to being grandparents. I might as well tell you that. Okay, we've done the parents bit. Our youngest is now 16, and our oldest, Rosie, gets married in June. Now you sound like me, Paul, when we come to the end of the show. Yeah, I guess. So, David Soul, he did sing Silver Lady. I love the way Jojo Walsh is spelt soul, Soal. Sual. David Soul. He spelled it like a Welsh person. David Soul. Actually, David Soul. I was made aware of free riding after I found out about a homeless person in Newquay had a brand new Audi and a very nice apartment. There's a guy in London who was a professional beggar. At the end of every day, he got up, went and changed his clothing, and climbed into his Rolls Royce and went home. This is why I have an issue with that. Roger says, we're still listening. Yeah, he certainly is. Do you know what, Roger? Get yourself together. Get that beautiful wife to set up your system so I will bring you on for a chat in the next 15, 20 minutes. All right, Roger? So get yourself together. I did promise I was going to get you on again, so let's do it now. And we'll just chat. We'll just chat, all right? There's no particular focus tonight. Let's chat. I did ask people to put up um, what they'd like to talk about tonight. Now, I did see one which kind of drew my attention, which was kind of unique. Let me just quickly bring that up. Right, here we go. There was a. I did say to you guys, can you give me some questions about what you would like, or give me topics of what you would like on tonight's show? And the topics were, one of the topics was, or one of the questions, I beg your pardon, was if you go to assisted dying, let's bring it up. Here we go. It was from Amanda. I have a question. Okay, let's bring it up here so I can see. Like my eyesight's going. If I have a question, if you go to one of the places that assist you to cross over, for example, these places in Sweden where they give you a cocktail of drugs, would this be classed for your spirit the same as suicide? Okay. It's called assisted dying. And that question really is more us based. Okay. We're looking at it from a 99.9% of people who would think about that would be looking at that from a judgmental point of view of what we think. Okay. Different cultures look at different things in different ways. So, how could you possibly consider that to be a suicide? Um, they call it assisted dying. But from what I understand, the person who wants to cross has the optimum choice right up to the last moment, literally the last moment. But there is a to and a fro on that. There is a to and a fro on that. So I just want to. I'm not. Dawn, I remember that Lindsay, he was making. Oh yeah, that's right. Um, so the to and the fro is it? See, if I answer that question, I'm giving my perspective, my personal opinion. Your personal opinion could well be completely and utterly different to mine, and you would be correct. But I'm correct in my opinion. So maybe it's not really a question for what we are talking about. That is a question based upon politics, not a question based upon whether or not the soul sees it as a reason to leave this earth. I think it's based upon politics, and that's not what I'm about. Paul, why does the story go that Eve ate the apple, but all men have an Adam's apple stuck in it? God knows, Dawn. I have huge issues in believing that in itself, that whole Adam and Eve thing. I think the Adam and Eve concept is based upon an ideal, a parity, really, rather than an actuality. I don't know why men have got an Adam's apple and women don't. I really don't. God's truth is I have no idea. If you're out there and you do know different, put me right. I'm quite open to hear that. I did a sleep out in Newquay for the homeless, and it's a proper community, says Dawn Hatton. Joe Hernandez, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Okay, let's go on the way up. Have I missed everybody? Right, yeah, I've got everybody's questions. Keep your questions coming in long and hard. Love it. Lynn has asked a question. Can objects be haunted? Now, that's a really, really good question. I don't think objects can be haunted in the concept of what a haunting is against, say, an attachment. There are two different things. I think a person who crosses over, if they really, really were attached to, say, I don't know, just for simplistical sake, a beautiful table for a lady, the mirror on it where a lady would have done her hair and her makeup and that kind of on that, it was, say, created and built for her by her loving husband. So this wonderful gentleman creates this beautiful ornate table with a beautiful mirror, and he supplies his beautiful wife with gorgeous brushes and hair stuff, and she then puts on all her beautiful makeup, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm sort of trying to create a you know a visual in your mind's eye. I think because of the love created, then there would be an attachment of energy to that particular table for the love that was created by, but not only that, by the people who then leave the earth, they'd still be have an attachment to it. I can't buy into this haunted dolls thing. Um, Once again, personal opinion, not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. I am open to learning. I am definitely open to learning, but you will have to present me with fact, not hearsay. This stuff where you see dolls' heads turning and eyes opening, it's just too easy to make that happen. You know what I mean? And we can just set that up. So I really I'm not buying into that. But definitely people who use people there. There's definite attachments to particular objects, and there's definitely attachments to houses. Um, Hauntings, they're a different energy completely. Man of Adam's apples due to production of testosterone, which make the vocal cords thicker. Um, then you see the Adam's apple. Not explained that very well. Yeah, I think he did actually, Sue, and thank you very much for that explanation. I didn't know that. Roger says, I'm on the laptop now. Get yourself together, git, and send me a link. I will do that momentarily, Roger. I'm just looking at the time so I can get things. Paul, can demonic energies um, attach themselves to you? No. uh, and I don't buy into that either. So, no, I don't buy into that either. But anyway, um, it has to do with puberty, testosterone, and that makes you male. Okay, Corin. And by the way, Corin, welcome. Lovely to see you. Keep it coming. So I love all that. Keep it coming. Other negative energies out there, yeah, of course there are, but they're as rare. They're not they're not as many as you would have be led believe by certain TV shows. I had an awful experience of a poltergeist in my teens. It was awful, says our lovely Sue. Well, let me just discuss. You see, the word poltergeist actually became a big thing because of the movie. Alrighty, but it's actually not one word. It's two words: polter and geist. Now it's German, or both words are German. Polter. The word polter in German means unsettled. Okay, and the word geist means ghost or spirit. Unsettled spirit. Okay, so what creates an unsettled spirit? Right. Let's say I cross over to the other side of life. Boom, I'm over there. Right. But I'm not aware really that I've crossed over. And I'm in a room full of people and everybody, but everybody's ignoring me. Why aren't you talking to me? Hello? And then people not only do they seemingly ignore you, but they start talking about you. Okay. Sooner or later, you're going to get a little bit hacked off or unsettled. Hence the name, unsettled spirit, poltergeist. So it doesn't relate to evil in any way, shape, or form. Evil, from in my experience of maybe in 35 years, three times, maybe, is doesn't let you know it's around. It's very, very tentative. It's very in the background. It's very, very sneaky, and it works its way into you. Not, it doesn't come up and go. That's not how it works. Okay, too many TV shows. Um, and so it's very sneaky, and it works its way, and it gets waits till to the point of absolute vulnerability. Then it comes into play, but it tends to be over time, and all of these. Um, okay, I'm not going to go down this route, but the shall we say certain mediums that I'd seen in my time who got possessed. Nah. It was my friend's house. Sue Vinicum is telling me. Let's bring Sue up here for darling. Lindsay Hill says, before I read Sue's, Lindsay Hill says, you pulled a card for me last week. I followed my guidance and I found great comfort in it. Thank you very much. Lindsay, you're welcome. The following week, you will hold some importance in my life. Please, could you shed light on what to expect? No, because I'm not doing any reads tonight, Lindsay. It was my friend's house, which was a doctor's surgery. I was sat alone while she ate dinner, and the china was pushed off the shelf, and that was just one of the weird things happened. Yeah, yeah. I've actually in my own office, in some of the older videos that you see, the earlier videos on my YouTube channel, where I was in my old office, stuff used to fly off the shelves. On the odd occasion, stuff would just go whoosh, and if I wasn't really on the ball a few times, it would catch me and scare the living life out of me. But that's a poltergeist. That's just a spirit that's tending to try its best to get your attention. Now, the very fact that it was a doctor's surgery, most people go to a doctor's surgery aren't happy. Okay, they're not happy before they go in. They're definitely not happy when they come out. So it tends to be a lot of energy that's dumped there that's not very pleasant. So that energy after a period of time has to be manifested somewhere, and that you have a tendency to find when you do ghost hunting. Don't ever be sorry, Lindsay. My mum taught me, if you don't ask, you don't get. That's my mum taught me, and I use that every day. So don't ever be sorry. I only do reads on a Monday night, which is Reach Across. Spirit Quest is about the journey of life, so it's about us discussing various parts and bits and pieces to do with our life and how it's made up. So please do not be sorry. My mom said, if you don't ask, you don't get. So ask. Doesn't hurt. Where did I go? So yes, you ran out the room. I can imagine you did. I bet you were probably blamed on the stuff being pushed over too. So what I want to do was bring in some ideas about what you want to discuss. So Lynn says you had a load of orbs in your studios as well. Oh yeah, when there's lots of there was lots of proper orbs filmed in that studio. There's also footage of a spirit being filmed as well. Alison Lowry. Hi, Paul. Hi, Alison. Wanted to thank you for a great comfort you gave me this week. You have no idea what difference you made. Alison, it's an absolute pleasure. And thank you for being here. And thank you for coming in to tell us that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. What do you guys say that we go and invite our pal Roger? You think that's a good idea, or should we just let him practice his Irish accent? Do you think that's you think we should just let Roger practice his Irish accent? I can't even speak now. Where is he? I'm actually just looking for Roger, and that's why I might look a bit dumb here. And where I can't find Roger at the moment. Kidoke, Roger Pokey. I don't know where our Roger is. If I just go in to a different profile and find, I'm just literally trying to find Roger, guys. Keep the questions coming, by the way. I really could do with the questions are something I absolutely love. So keep the questions coming. Okay. And remember, when you ask a question, you it's an opportunity to teach most people. Okay, even in very much inclusive of me. There's Roger Garza Sr. right there. Here he is. Gotcha. Right, Roger. Roger the Dodger. There you go. link going over to Roger, so I'll come back on. I got a fly flying around there. No, 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 says Lynn. I don't know what that means. What's no, no, no mean? You had orbs in your studio too, whether you were on or off camera. Oh, little, see those little flies are little fruit flies. They can come along and come up on camera as that look like orbs as well. But so it is actually at the beginning. It's difficult to decipher what is an orb and what isn't. So, but after a while, when you figure out, you understand how orbs work. Orbs will change direction and speed, and whereas dust will go the only direction it's motivated to go. In other words, it'll go where the initial wind has pushed it, and it won't change direction and won't change speed. Guess who is in the house? This Irish guy here. Look at that, it's chatting away.
Yeah.
There you are.
X up there.
This one?
Yeah.
You can tell that Faye's the actual the brains
Yeah,
behind
I
that
know.
duo there. Like Faye's the brains, isn't she?
Right.
You
Paul,
can-
how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, huh? So, can you see me? Can you hear me, Faye? Can you hear me?
Can you hear him? No, you can't hear him.
No.
I got the headphones on.
That's what you didn't tell her. I said that she's clearly the
She's
brains
the
of
brains, he said.
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
I can imagine it is. So
Here's it.
I'm gonna there's my headset so I can bring you up so I can hear you. Roger, the Dodger, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, my friend.
How's things?
Let me come in first off by saying, hello, hello, hello.
What in God's name was that?
That's my English accent.
Is that what that was? Do you know what? There are times when I'm sitting in the city, okay, Truro City, and I'm sitting in the car by myself. Maybe Johanna's off getting her hair done or something. So I'm sitting in my car by myself, and I've got my cell phone and your show's on it. And then people walking past will just hear me laugh out loud like that. And they look at me to say, what's he laughing at? And it's because you'll have done an accent and I'll be laughing and the car will rock from side to side because I'm laughing so hard. It's your Irish accent is the one that makes me laugh the most, though.
That's what you gotta tell people. It's my bloody friend that thinks he's got an accent.
I have no idea what that was.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my goodness! The only one that you could get very very close to is Scottish. You get very close to Scottish accent, and if you use the words "I can't give it any more, Captain," you'd be right in there.
I'm giving it all I can.
There you go. There you're almost spot on there. I'm telling you. Everybody's putting in the chat room. No accents, please, Roger. No accents.
Okay.
Mary
All right.
Erickson went to White Castle for a snack, and she was so White Castle. There's a place in London called White Castle, and they speak very posh, like that. Oh, hello. Actually, my daughter Maya, we don't know why, because she was born in Cornwall and she was brought up in Cornwall, but she speaks like this here. Hello, Daddy. She is very well spoken. And she really hates it when I take the mickey out of her. But she can do my accent really well, which you can't, Roger.
Well,
So-
aside from all of that, what's new?
Well, I tell you what's new is your amazing office. I'm very jealous of your office, in fact, to be 100% honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. No, I saw it when you did that walkthrough with you. You got that lovely, beautiful lady on reception, and then you walk through, and this is my conference room, and this is my office. Oh yeah, rub it in, right? Why don't
Yeah,
you,
but
Roger?
we got it all together now. We're still putting up banners and whatnot, but everything else is in its place.
It looked fantastic at the beginning before you put anything up. It looked really, really cool.
It's a little spot on there.
Oh, Faye's back. Faye is back. Thank God. Anyway, Roger, Dawn Hatton. Dawn actually lives in Truro, which is a city, and she's saying, "Can you see what? Can you see what's in the chat room? Can you see it at all?"
I can now.
Just above Faye, where Faye says, "I'm back." Dawn Haddam has said, "Roger, say."
Roger, say, all right.
Go on, I'd love to hear this.
All right, my awesome sea of duckly.
No.
I don't know what that. Oh Lord!
Oh, sweet Lord.
How about if
That
I do Spanish?
well, that's actually Cornish. That is a Cornish dialect. Where there, that means, "All right, my handsome, see directly." Right? All right, my handsome, see directly. So, "All right, my handsome" means, "Hello, how are you?" See directly. See directly means, "I'll see you in a little while."
Okay.
The Cornish have a concept which is called directly, and exactly how Dawn has spelt it, directly, and it
Then
means
the
if you bring
English
your car into like a garage and the engineer says, "Oh, I'll do it directly," that means it'll get done sometime that month,
that
not
month.
not that day, that month. They'll get round to it. "Oh, I'll do it directly." That means they'll get round to it whenever. Okay, that's what
Wow.
that means. So directly is something that I could not understand when I came to this country first. They all do it directly, and I was like, what does that mean?" And the other thing is they have times of the day here called crib time, crib as in a baby's crib, and
And
I was
she's
like, "What the hell are we doing with a crib?" And a crib time means break. Here,
what?
here, it's crib time. And I remember hearing it for the first time. What are we going to get a baby's crib? What's that all about? So but there's some amazing things that the Cornish do that, and you can understand why they live longer because they just let things go. They don't care. They just let it all go. Lindsay Hill. Now this is funny. Lindsay Hill says, "Top of the morning to you, Paul." Do you know what? In my entire life, I've never had an Irish person say it to me. It is a very well known Irish saying, "top of the morning," but I've never heard anybody say it to me.
What about top of the day?
Top of the day, top of the morning, top of the morning to you. Go on then. Try and get a bit of a little
Gina.
bit of a back accent there going, and then you tighten up your tongue and you speak like this here, right? Go on, go on. That's an
Look,
Irish accent.
look what Gina says.
Gina says, "Well, well, well. Look at these two." Yes, Gina. Gina, it is lovely to see you. I hope the Fox Den is going well. Still haven't had my invitation, by the way. Just as a bit of a hint. You've had him on, but you've had him the other way, that way. You've had him on, but you haven't had me. What's going on?
We
He's
were
been on,
Paul. If you remember, we both were on.
not at the same time.
Yeah,
We
we
should be
were
on at the
at.
same time.
That was a while back. Yes.
That'd be amazing having us two in there. It'd be just mind blowing. Um, John Macon says, "Hi, Paul. Hope you're well, John. It's fantastic to see you. Thank you for being here. It's how I do my Irish accent since Lindsay Hill. I'd love to hear it." Corin says, "I would have thought crib as in cards." Oh yeah, cribbage. No, crib means break time, and crib time is usually around about 10:30, 11 in the morning. Yeah, ask me, Gina. I will say yes. You can be assured of that. Now, where was I saw something else. Somebody was asking. Oh yeah, Alison said, "Any plans for St. Patrick's Day?" Well, I think I'm going to cook an Irish stew. Do you know that was the very first legal term, Roger?
Irish stew.
Yeah.
What does
Irish
it
stew
mean?
in the name of the law.
Huh?
I arrest you in the name of the law. Irish stew in the name of
Oh
the law.
yeah.
Yeah. Boom. So you're gonna try that one now, aren't you?
No,
We're all northern east proper Cornish, eh? Here, proper John. I tell you what, you gotta when we bring you across over to for when you and Faye come over for a little break, I'm going to introduce you to a Cornish pasty.
what's
Okay.
that?
Oh, hey. It is an entire meal. Now, a proper Cornish pasty is an entire meal Okay, so one part of it's like imagine a big pizza folded over in half. Okay, so you got a straight line and then a curve. You got me?
Yep.
Right. So a Cornish pasty is pastry that's been folded over and then it's sectioned off. In one section you have meat, potatoes, vegetables, and even gravy. And then in the other section you'll have a dessert. And that's in one meal. It's
Wow.
called and it's called a Cornish pasty. Now here's the thing: it cannot be a Cornish pasty if it's not made in Cornwall. It can only be called a pasty. And they are, if you get a proper Cornish pasty, Roger, I would say you probably have a job to finish it. And they were designed, they were like little lunch pails, as the Americans would call a lunch pail, but it's an edible lunch pail. And they took them down into the mines when they were mining for copper and for whatever they were mining for here in Cornwall.
Anybody hungry yet?
Dieta, says Trudy, which, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. Trudy, tell me the English. Does that mean good evening or good day? Dieta is Cornish, and if you look at that, it looks very Welsh. It looks It's Celtic, obviously. Cornish pasties are lush. I'll make you a proper uh, Cornish pasta, hanger Cornish pasties. Don, I'm going to take you up on that, and what we're going to do is I'm going to eat it during one of the shows. Okay. Sue Vinicum says pasty followed by a cream tea. Oh yeah, a cream. Well, that's if he's got room for a cream tea. Now here's the thing: there's a big. You have Cornwall and you have Devon, then Somerset. Okay, the whole bottom of the UK. You have Cornwall's the bottom, and in between, as you come out of Cornwall, you go into Devon, and then you come out of Devon, you go into Somerset. And cream teas are shared between Cornwall and Devon. But they have huge arguments about which way to serve the cream tea. And a cream tea is do you guys know what a scone is? You guys know what it's and the closest thing to a scone in America may be referred to as a biscuit.
Okay.
Similar. So they split these things in half and they serve them with strawberry jam or raspberry jam and fresh cream. Alrighty.
Oh.
But the big argument is which goes on first. Is it the cream or the jam? Or is it the jam then the cream? And that's
It
the
all
argument
goes in
between
here. What difference does it make?
well, no, you'd be surprised. And you'd be surprised
Really?
how they take that to heart over here. You'd be surprised, I'm telling you. Wow, says Faye. I want me I'll tell you what, Faye. Have a look at the Faye. You're it's well within your skills to make a Cornish pasty. Have a look at how to make it online. It's really not massively difficult to do. Everybody's laughing. Saffron cake in Rodders, foreign everywhere else. Rodders is a company over here that make a lot of pastries and things.
What is a scone? The
Scone.
penis.
Well, actually, scone or scone initiated in Scotland, so your lovely wife should know about that.
What is it?
We have scones, says Gina. Gina knows what a scone is. Jam first is done in a big dollop of Rodders. Rodders, by the way, is cream. Clotted cream first, says Trudy. So see,
Don't
Trudy's
forget the
Cornish,
turnip.
and Dawn's going very Devonish. Devonish goes jam first, then cream, and the Cornish go cream first, then jam. So it's I see. Argument already started here. This is what it's like over here. Don't forget turnip, says Trudy. Trudy has a wonderful Cornish accent, actually. Trudy's got a real right, Uri? Trudy just says, I didn't say first, so she just has an entire bucket of cream and an entire bucket of jam and just goes whatever she gets to first. Now, Roger the Dodger,
Yes.
I'll buy you a scone, darling Roger. Faye says, so you don't know what a scone is, yet your beautiful wife does. Come on, what's going on here?
I know what tacos are.
What would be a famous Mexican dessert? Go on.
Oh boy, there's so many of them.
Yeah, but well, kind of like the way at Christmas time here in the UK, and Ireland as well, would be trifle would be one of the biggest kind of go-to desserts. Christmas pudding is actually a Christmas pudding is actually a course. It's actually a course, not a dessert. It's a course. But a dessert over here in the UK would be um, trifle.
Have you
So
ever had a flan?
a flan, FLAN.
Yep,
Yeah, but what is a flan to you?
it's a custard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's man, or what they call a cake that's made with tres leches, which means three milks.
Right. Okay.
Paul, when you have a tres leches cake, that's it. You're done.
So when we're on tour, then we have to have that as part of our. When we arrive at the hotels and stuff, the tres leches must be there.
Yeah, you could find them. They're around. But let me give you what. Do you guys have tortillas there?
Yeah, yeah. We there's a lot of
Okay.
Mexican restaurants popping up all
No,
over
I
the
mean,
Southwest.
can you buy them at a store?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. This is for everybody. Take a tortilla and cut it like a pie, cut it in fourths
Uh-huh.
or whatever you want, eighths, whatever, and deep fry them. When they
Okay.
come out hot, take cinnamon and sugar and sprinkle it on it. Oh, you'll fall in love with those, let me tell you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to. People will be going, "Why am I watching the show? And what are these two idiots talking about?" I just want to show you. If you just watch what we've done, we've just brought out so much positive energy and so much love just chatting. And this is what I mean. We don't do enough of this. We will get so locked up in subject matter at times, we forget to just talk. Just have a chat. Now, if you guys all remember, I used to do a show last year called Take a Break. And remember how successful that show was? And it wasn't about anything. It was about sitting and having a chat, which like we're doing right now. I got Roger Garza Sr., one of the best chefs one of the best accent bravados that I know.
Oh, yeah. You would have to throw that in. Okay.
One of the best psychics I know. And you know what? I brought him on tonight, not to talk about anything in specific, and we're having a bit of a giggle, yet everybody's enjoying it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what it's all about. Have you ever tried a Jaffa cake trifle with sponge brandy? No, I haven't. But now you're getting me go. Do you know what one of my jobs was, Roger? Many,
What's
many
that?
moons ago. I was chef pâtissier.
Pastry chef?
Yes, indeed, sir. My job was to create and provide all of the desserts and pastries for the hotel.
Wow.
Yes, and that was my job, and I loved it. Chef pâtissier. You two, laughing at you two so hard and making my headache. This is Trudy. Chatting is escapism, says Lindsay. It's a great show, says Lynn. Silver Lady says it's a flan. I love flans. Night night, Sue. Rest. Oh, Sue going. I missed Sue disappearing. Is she? Please don't go just yet, Sue. Night, everyone. I'm up at 5, so going to get some sleep. Sue, my darling, you get your head down, and we're sending all our love, and we're sending all our strength and all our healing to you. And tomorrow will be fine. Okay, tomorrow you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolute tomorrow, so don't worry about that. So let's catch up with what everybody else is saying. Can you see stuff there, Roger?
Yes, I can.
You're a chef now. Richard Slap. Now, I was a chef first when I went to college and university and trained to be a chef. Then I was trained by Chef of the Year and second Chef of the Year, and I was trained in 5-star restaurants. And I went right through all of the hotels and to the point where I became an executive chef. And that's where I lost the love of it because it was about business then, and it wasn't no longer about creating anymore. So then I came out of it.
Well, with me, Paul, I had to work after 12 o'clock midnight.
Yeah,
That was third chef.
you were third chef. You're what we call the gopher.
Yeah, I was.
Some of my best stories that I share with my kids, what I used to share with my kids, is about my days of being a chef and the stuff we used to do. You know, what I mean, I had it done to me when I was the newbie when you come into the kitchen, but some of the stuff we used to do to the new chefs when they arrived was just mind-boggling. You know, things we used to do. If you can imagine, we're in the north of Ireland, okay, so it's freezing cold in the wintertime because it's quite up high in the globe. You know, it's high up, so it's very cold. So we would wait to, and this is the days back when it was proper chefing. So the chefs all wore proper uniforms.
Yep.
You know, the check trousers, the long aprons, the proper double-breasted jackets and neckties, and the tall hats. Do you remember the tall hats?
Yep.
So there was a new guy called Willie McGee. He came in, and of course, the chef said to him, he came round. So the chef, Gary, who's the second chef, turned all of the burners on the stoves right down to low. And he said to Willie, "Hey, Willie, the gas is running low. Go and get some money for the meter." And Willie looked at him and said, "What?" He said, "Go and get some money." And Gary Gamble was a big guy. He's a big guy. And you didn't, if he said, "Do this," you went, just did it, you know?
Right.
So he said, "Go and get me some bloody money for the meter." Actually, he didn't say bloody, but I'll let your mind fill in blanks.
Yeah.
So as Willie went out of the kitchen, he said, "Where do I get it?" He said, "Go to the bar." So he went up to, Willie was heading to the bar. Gary picked up the phone, rang the barman and said, "Look, Willie's on his way up. Play along. You need some 50 pence pieces for the meter." So Willie goes up to the bar. He says to the guy in the bar, he says, "Listen, I think the chef's having a laugh here. He wants 50p's for the meter." So by this time, the guy had some 50 pence pieces in a little glass, and he went, "Oh yeah," and he reached down. He said, "How many do you need?" He says, "Well, I don't know. How many does he normally have?" He said, "About 4." He said, "Better give me 4 then." So get some full 50p pieces, which would be in this, like dollar, about the size of dollar coins for you guys.
Okay.
So he comes all the way back to the kitchen. He's, "Here you go, chef." He said, "We're going to put him in the meter." Now, the meter is out at the other side of the car park in the hotel, or the big gas canisters. And we stood there while this poor kid went right across the car park in the wind and howling rain, trying to hold his hat on, and his apron was doing like Superman, you know, flapping up behind him. Oh my God, some of the stuff we used to do to these poor kids. There was one guy who was really not very pleasant. He wasn't a very pleasant guy, and he used to come to work. Now, a hotel, you got it? A beautiful hotel in Ireland. So he really hacked off everybody until one day he hacked off the second head chef, Gary, and he said, "Right, that's it. I've had enough of this guy." So there were 6 chefs in the kitchen. I was one of them. And we took this guy's scooter. So he's got a scooter, a little motorcycle.
Yeah.
We hiked it right up to the top of the hotel and tied it to one of the chimneys at the top of the hotel. And when he came out, after about 2 hours of him searching for it, we told him where it was. And funnily enough, he decided to leave the hotel that following week. But there we go.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we used to do to make everybody happy, that's what it was all about. It wasn't to make anybody sad. It was to make people happy and enjoy life. What do you do? What fun thing can you do that will make somebody... I mean, Faye, what will Faye do to have a prank on Roger?
Get her started.
I want to know. Okay.
Let me give you one a long time ago.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
When I was in my early 20s, I think. You know what the house truss is for the frame of it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I worked at this company, I forget the name of it, but it was a lumberyard, and we made house trusses.
Yeah.
And Paul, I want you to know that all these guys ganged up and said, "We need some sky hooks. You got to go look for some sky hooks." So I said, "Well, where do I get them?" They said, "Go inside and they're hanging up there. Go get them." And I'm looking like this. I kept coming back out. "Where are they? Where are they? They're in there. Just go look." And I go back in again.
You're looking for a sky hook.
Sky hook.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Lord.
I've got a couple more. I might as well share them. Let's get laughter flowing through the airwaves tonight. Right, this hotel again, the same hotel, 5-star hotel, top of the range. Okay, so the restaurant manager, he would come in a morning suit, and then in the evening he would have an evening suit. So we're talking
Oh
top
boy.
of the range, you know, built like the Hilton in London, where they wore, the proper suits. So, Terry, the restaurant manager, we call lovely, lovely gentleman. So one afternoon, we took Terry's suit. So you got to think of what a suit is here. So we're talking the jacket, we're talking the shirt, we're talking the waistcoat, we're talking the trousers. You guys with me on that? And we took it into the kitchen and we laid it out flat and we gently damped it down with a sponge. Then we laid it in the freezer.
Oh,
All right. So when the Terry came in that night, his entire suit looked like a cardboard cutout, leaning up against the wall, solid. Oh my
oh
god!
boy.
And we thought, oh, we're in for it now. Of course, he came in and he was shouting and screaming, "Who did this? Who did this?" And eventually, me and one of the lads put our hands up and said, "We did it." And he bought us a pint. He said that was the funniest joke he'd ever seen. But we had to pay for his laundry bill. But hey, it was worth it. Stuff we used to do.
We had
Trust
a
me.
guy, Paul, and it was two families. The Van, I think the Van Werts or something, and the Fitzgeralds, and they lived in the penthouses up on top of the hotel.
Yeah.
I worked at this hotel called the St. Paul Hotel, and there was this guy, Mr. Fitzgerald, that not to gross everybody out, okay, but this guy literally, Paul, literally would order a glass of wine and a glass of water, and sit there and drink his wine, drink his water, and literally pick his nose at the table.
Oh.
And everybody's going, God. And I told the waitresses, aren't you going to tell him something? No, we already did it. Da, 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 da. I'm not going to tell him. I'll get fired and all that. I said, you know what? Just go over and tell him something. Nobody. So here I go. I went over and I said, Mr. Fitzgerald, can I speak with you for a minute, sir? And he goes, yes, what's wrong, Sonny? I said, sir, it's really not proper etiquette to pick your nose at the table. I said, you should go into the men's room for that. And he looks at me, he goes, do you know who I am? Big old grumpy voice. And he was a good sized guy.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, sir, I do know who you are. I said, but that's not the issue. I said, the issue is that you're picking your nose and everybody else here around you can see. Well, I could have your job for that. Yes, I guess you could. But, sir, please stop it and go into the bathroom, the men's room. So the next day I come to work, I get called into the office. Here's the big boss and here's the supervisor. We understand that you had a problem with Mr. Fitzgerald. No, it really wasn't a problem. Well, they said that you told him about that. Yes, I did. Okay, that's grounds to release you. That's all right, I'll find another job. And the big boss said, no. He put his hand out and said, thank you, Roger. We've been meaning to say something to him for a long time.
You read his mind.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I've got to look. They're sort of helping us out here. Lindsay Hill was saying her brother used to send her for a long wait. That's a bit like your skyhook. A long wait. And the brother stood there for nearly an hour waiting for it. Dawn says, I used to put my practice head for hairdressing in the fridge, scared the crap out of her husband every time he opened the door.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. Richard says, my school buddy in art class took red paint, 3 drops on my head and took red paint and dropped 3 drops on my head in the supply area. And I had red hair back then, so that's all gone now. So he dropped red paint on top of his head. Just want to tell you all, if you're listening to us tonight, we're having a bit of a giggle because it's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. So we're trying not to be too serious. Come and join us on all the great things that made you happy, make you laugh. Come and share them with us. What made you laugh? What brings you back to that moment that gave you that fantastic energy? You're listening to us tonight on 105.3, right up to 107.7 FM, coming to you live from the very beautiful New Orleans, which isn't too far from Roger, by the way. He ain't too far. Even though I talk like this here, he's not too far from Hey, my American accent is better than your Scottish. So,
Oh, okay. Blow me.
oh, definitely better than your English. So,
Oh
Roger,
Lord.
how can people come and have good old private one-to-ones with you in your brand new office? How can that happen?
All they have to do is just call us.
Yeah, come on, this is a moment when you advertise. Get on.
Oh, okay. Here, let me jot that down.
Honestly, where's your beautiful wife when I need her? So,
You could call us at area code 715-688-4091.
there you go.
I got
And
a
you can
good
actually.
Swedish joke, Paul.
Okay, got a Swedish joke?
Yep.
Go ahead.
This the first Swede goes up to a construction site and he goes, now this is a Mexican doing a Swede, so see if you like this one. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to see if I could get a job here. And the guy goes, well, what do you do? Well, by golly, I happen to be a pantyhose inspector. Oh, no, 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 we can't use you. So the guy goes. Second guy comes in. Excuse me, sir. He says, I'd like to see if I could get a job here. He goes, well, what do you do? He goes, I'm a diesel fitter. He goes, a diesel fitter? Yes. He says, grab a hard hat and go see Joe over there and get to work. So the guy goes to work. The third guy comes along. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to see if I could get a job here. He goes, well, what do you do? Well, I happen to be a pantyhose inspector. He goes, no, not one of you guys again. He goes, no, I'm sorry, I can't use you. He goes, well, begging to pardon, sir, but you hired our friend Oli over there. He goes, yeah, your friend Oli said he's a diesel fitter. He goes, yeah, that's correct. He says the pantyhose comes down the line, and I hold it up. I said, what do you think, Oli? And Oli says, yeah, diesel fitter.
That's actually good. I would actually put that into my good category.
Thank you,
That
sir.
is actually good. I can't believe how good that was. Oh my goodness. We got somebody called Shay Taro. The name alone should just tell you. That's the name alone. My advice is that you guys report this Shay Taro, or as I like to call him, Rip Off Merchant, and to Facebook.
Why do they bother?
I don't know why they bother, because all they're going to do is they're going to get to the point where Facebook is going very, very AI, which is artificial intelligence. And what's going to happen is there's an AI program being written to actually bring these people straight to fraudulent departments, and they're just going to be done. So sooner the better, I say. Jackie Noon says, have a great St. Patrick's Day and watch out for snakes. Yeah. Well, I'm in Cornwall, Jackie. So as it happens, there are snakes in Cornwall. We have adders here in Cornwall, which we diamondback. They're like little diamondback rattlers with no rattlers. If they bite you, yeah, they can be fatal, but not often. But anyway, at this time of the year, it's too cold for them. They'll be tucked away in their little nests. But thank you I'll definitely enjoy St. Patrick's Day. I'm taking St. Patrick's Day off. I'm going to have a day off, literally. So, Roger, let's go back to the jokes thing. Here, Roger,
Yes.
what do you call a deaf man with his little finger missing of his right hand?
Wow, I don't know.
Anything. He can't hear you. So,
Uh,
I can't believe you
and
actually
I
looked
fell
at your
for
hands.
that. I fell for it. Oh,
Maria says, I like how I don't even see these idiots. Oh, then count yourself lucky, Maria.
that's like the guy that goes into the bar and he's got a dog under his arm. He puts the dog on a bar stool,
Yeah.
and he goes, give me a beer. He goes, okay. He says, I'll give you a beer, and he says, I'll give you a little bowl of milk for your dog. He goes, never mind about him. He doesn't need nothing. He goes, no, it's okay. And he comes around the bar with a bowl of milk, and he goes, oh, he doesn't have any paws. He goes, what do you call him? And he goes, you can imagine the word,
Uh-huh.
something head. So he goes, well, why do you call him that? He goes, why don't you call him Pooch or Fido or some or Butch? He goes, why? He's not gonna come.
Oh,
No legs.
um,
Oh, Caduck.
Okie dokie. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna get one in my head that that I can use over the airwaves that is playing nice and pleasant. This guy walks into a bar and there's the bar's fairly full and there's a big row of people sitting and then there's a couple of chairs missing that are empty and he walks up to this guy and he goes, "Is anybody sitting here? Can I sit?" He says, "Oh yeah, sit down." So as he's sitting down, he looks down on the floor and there's a little dog there and he goes, "Oh, that's beautiful." He says, "Does your dog bite?" He said, "No." So he reaches down to pat him on the head. Whack! Nearly takes his finger off. He says, "Hey." He said, "I thought you said your dog didn't bite." He said, "He doesn't. That's not my dog."
Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. Everybody's laughing. This is what it's all about. Do you remember the night we just did nothing and told jokes? Do you remember that night? Everybody's going to go, "Oh God, yeah, that was a good night." This is what I say. Return to what makes you happy. These are the moments we're giving you that you can use when you're having a bad day. You close your eyes, you think of the night. Roger and I sat here telling jokes and Faye telling you off. So
what else is new?
Which makes me happy. So
Thanks, Paul. Oh Lord.
Oh my goodness. So what have you got planned for Saturday morning, Roger?
Honestly, we just spontaneously go into it because of the fact that one of our viewers calls it Silly Saturday.
Yeah.
Because we get goofy, and we get people from all over the world. And one thing I've noticed, Paul, that when you do your shows, and you're exactly like mine in the sense that you go, somebody comes on, "Hi, this is so and so. Do you see anything for me, or do you got anything for me?"
Yeah.
And it's like, you just got here.
Well, it's not
energy.
It's not the fact is, anything for me. Is there anything for me? That annoys me into the point that if you haven't even got it within your heart or your mind to ask a proper question, why would you even possibly think to expect a request?
Right.
We've got another Tarot Gloria here. A tarot she's about as tarot as my cat. Does
your cat bite?
No, I don't even have a cat. So
oh Lord.
So all these people, see the people who jump into shows like this, these are the true rip-off merchants, the liars, the thieves, and the cheats. They're the real ones. But you know what, guys around the world, somebody said to me 2 weeks ago, "Paul, can I have a word?" And I said, "Absolutely. What can I do for you?" They went, "No, it's what can I do for you?" I said, "Oh, okay. What can I do for you?" They went, when they come, people come on your show and they jump in, they try and do that. I said, "Yeah." They went, "Why do you get upset?" And I said, "Well, because I've done a lot of work to get to where I am. I've taken years and years and years and years of work to get to where I am." And these guys are jumping in. They went, "Everybody knows they're not real. So why are you getting upset?" And then all my teachings came back to me in like a torrent of flood. I'm giving them my time. If I'm getting angry, I'm giving them my time. So what I do now, as soon as they turn up like that, I literally go over, click on delete, and click on block, and I let all our wonderful viewers just go on. I mean, Lynn's she's my little guard dog. She's constantly guarding. She's my bouncer. She's my bodyguard. So she'll be straight in there and she'll report them to Facebook. And so I just relax.
I love what she posted about you and I, about hackers coming on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's like, she's in there. She's like, "You guys are gonna. You will not mess with Paul and Roger. That's not going to happen." Joe Hernandez says, "I'm new to your program, but y'all are silly men." Joe, first of all, thank you. No, 99% of the time we're silly, but the odd 1% of the time, we do bring a lot of love and a lot of understanding and a lot of openness to people. And my job is to, I'm going to say what I do, Roger, and then I want you follow up with your concept. The reason why I turned to become a medium was I wanted to stop people worrying about death. That's what I want. That's what I. My whole focus was, if I can get people to stop worrying about death, then they'll get on with living. That's my concept. It's not how good am I to be able to bring through reads from people who've crossed over. That's not what it's about. The point is, if they're talking to me and I give you a message, that proves they're fine. That proves they're good. They're in a good place. So get on with making this life something special.
I agree with that 100%.
That's why I became a medium.
And I became an extra large.
That was a terrible.
My
After that
reason.
last joke you told, which was good, that was it. Just
Thank you, sir.
go ahead, Roger. What were you going to say?
The reason I became a medium is because of the mere fact that there are people that need just that last thing, you know. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't get to tell them, or I didn't get to, but you know, and you just
Yeah.
give them that last thing that they needed, and their life is at ease. Then.
It's very true. That last thing is when I always say to people, the reason why you're letting that hurt you is you're carrying guilt. You've got a guilt complex based upon not being able to settle,
Right.
and that's why I say that that's at the end of every show, no matter which show I do, you always hear me. In fact, you even said it yourself a few times. Is communicate, appreciate, and validate. So communicate, appreciate, and validate everyone in your life. So a medium never has to do it for you. So that's the whole reason why I say that. And it doesn't matter how long you've fallen out. It doesn't matter why you fell out. That's just politics, rubbish, or as the Americans call trash. Um, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, don't don't finish your life off with a concept based on guilt. Guilt is a no-win scenario.
Right.
Um, if one of us makes the other feel guilty, do we really win? We don't, because the other person they feel guilt, and then that usually comes back. So guilt is a no-win negative energy that you just don't need in your life. So eliminate guilt from your life. All my family won't use guilt against me because then they'll try to say me, oh, don't, and I'll go, oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to make me feel guilty? And they'll go, oh God.
But realistically speaking, if you go through your life with this thing on your back,
Yeah.
you know, you're never going to succeed in anything. It's
No.
going to hold you back all the time.
And a big thing that I keep saying to people, situations of the past have no relevance to the future.
Yep.
If you didn't get a chance to settle a problem with a loved one before they crossed over, it doesn't matter.
Well, it's like I tell people, I say, look, you know what? On your time, if you want to talk to them, talk to them.
Yes,
Ask for
100%.
forgiveness. Tell them you're sorry, everything. But get it done.
Sit there. I mean, people will say, I can only do that when I'm sitting by the graveside. Fine, that's fine. That's no problem. Do that. Go to the graveside, sit there and get it all off your chest and then let it go. But you can equally do the same thing by sitting in your living room, just sitting in your chair, maybe
Yeah.
hold a picture of them, close your eyes and talk to them. Guess what? They love it when you do that.
You
You
know, I'll
sit
let
there
you in on
and
something, Paul. This is gospel truth.
sure. Yeah.
For 15 years, I didn't talk to my son. We had a falling out. I mean, a physical falling out.
Okay.
And I felt bad because I didn't get to tell him I loved him and all. And I said, no, I'll talk to him on my time. And I have been talking to him. You know, he died of COVID and all that, and that wasn't because of me. And I don't know what happened, but it happened. But irregardless, I took time to say, you know, I'm here. I want to talk to you, and this is, you know, how I feel. And now, I got it off my chest.
Yes. Absolutely. And I would 100% go and stand beside you on that one. You know, get it off your chest. Get out what you wanted to say. And don't sit there and think, oh, I'm going to feel like an idiot doing this. No, you'll
No.
be more of an idiot if you don't.
Yep. I agree.
If you want to do it by the graveside, do it by the graveside. If you want to write it down on a paper, write it down on a paper, but just do it. Just, get it done. Oh, Lindsay, thank you. Paul, you're the only medium I believe in. You're the only one I trust. I do know and I feel you're sincere and realistic. Oh, thank you. Lindsay, thank you very, very much for that.
You
See,
can't
Roger.
add my name to that.
No, because that woman's clever. Anyway, so hey, listen. At the end of I've said, how many times have I said you're one of the very few that I trust?
Thank you, sir. I
There you go. That's
appreciate that.
enough.
Like I say to everybody, I appreciate that very few.
Very few. There's very few people out there that have gained my trust.
No, because everybody says very much, and I say no, very few.
Yeah, I mean, I heard of a medium, and I use that in a very, very loose sense, who physically whacked a lady, and jumps from one woman to another, to another, to another. And if you can't find love, that's you're not going. Nobody's going to point a finger at you and judge you. That's neither here nor there. But when you're treating people badly and in physically abuse, don't ever add the word psychic medium to your name, because I will bring you down. You do not represent us in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, I gotta go, Paul.
And listen, I'm not talking about Faye beating you up. That's different. Anyway, so, but I really don't. I'm very anti-politics for a start. I'm not into any of that rubbish. But we're here on this earth. We have an opportunity to not only live and love, we have an opportunity to teach and lead. All of us, everybody has an opportunity to live, love, teach, and lead. And you should always put any of those four aspects into play at least once a day. Okay? If you haven't got anything to learn, which just basically doesn't exist, then love. And if you have an ability to love, you've got an ability to lead other people to that love. And if you ever get ability to lead people to love, you're teaching. So take any one of those opportunities, bring them all together, and create a situation where you're throwing a positive pebble into the pond and let the ripples go out.
Very well put. And I was just talking about that this morning. I said, when you touch water, it has the ripple effect.
Yeah.
And I said, and that's what we do with our shows, because it'll spread.
The spreads a ripple. I mean, little tiny things. If I'm driving along in my car and somebody is, I've got a safe, I'm in a safe position where I can let someone pull out in front of me. Do you ever see their faces when they do that? It's like, oh, wow, thank you. And you're welcome. What am I losing? A second of time? But they're gaining. They're going to go ahead and go. They're going to arrive at maybe their job on time, but they're going to do something for somebody else. All because I just let them pull out in front of me. Something that. And very often I'll stop if I see kids at the side of the road and they're trying to get across, I will stop and hold up the traffic and get those kids across safe, and they're home safe. Yeah. That's it's little tiny things. You know what? A jigsaw puzzle, be it a 10-piece, 20-piece, 50-piece, 100-piece, 5,000-piece, is all made up of little individual things. Okay? And if you're somebody who has an opportunity to put those little pieces together, sooner or later you're going to create a magnificent picture.
At the end, yes. It'll all be there. Boom.
It's all there. Would you believe we've arrived at the end of the show? Wow. Would you believe you and I have been talking for 45 minutes?
Sorry, folks.
I hope everybody has enjoyed tonight's show. I mean, Roger's going to be here with you guys on Saturday, Roger and Faye, for This Mug's For You. And it's at 10:30. What time?
10:30 in the morning, Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time. And so for here in the UK, that's around 4:30 in the afternoon, UK time, GMT. Make sure that if you are free, that day is going to be extremely emotional for me, Saturday, because I'm taking my baby. I can feel my heart sinking down into my heels right now. I'm taking my baby to get her prom dress.
Oh, wow.
So my heart is going to be. As far as I'm concerned, my baby's 4 years old. She's not 16. She's 4. So we're taking her to get her prom dress, and I'm going to be sitting there in a puddle of tears. So if I'm having a good day, I may well share a couple of pictures. If if not, I'll see you all on Monday.
You know, sooner or later, Daddy, we got to do this.
No, I can't. Even my oldest, who is a pediatric nurse, I still can't let go. And she's getting married this year. So
Oh,
I got to give her away as well. That's twice as too much. Lindsay Hill says, I love tonight's show. Pure fun, escapism, and I've smiled from ear to ear. Well, do you know what? Thank you. That's
yes.
been just thank you. Brings so much peace, offloading guilt, says Dawn. Absolutely couldn't put her. That's perfect. I can put on here what I seen last night. Yeah, if you want to, Richard. Yeah, but we're nearly at the end anyway. Faye says, I'm married to Roger. See, there is a hell. So I'm only joking. That was a terrible joke.
Yes, that
Um,
was.
Faye saying, I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to either of my parents, but just recently I wrote to them both in my journal, thanking them for my good life and for all they taught me. Faye, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's going out to possibly 5 million people who's going to give that a go. Good on you. Well done. Thank you for sharing that. Good luck for Saturday, says Faye. See, Faye sees it from my point of view. Roger sees it from. So, Julie Sharp says, thank you so much. You're both hilarious and very informative. That's very kind of you to say. We appreciate that very much. Your kids still come back to you when they know they're loved, just because they have their hands out and saying, Daddy, please, can I have?
Yeah, when they
Only,
run out of money.
yeah, and the mine's come back to me and say, hey, Daddy, please, can I have a Porsche? But,
You know, I answer the telephone this way, Paul. Whenever any of my kids call, the first thing I do is I don't say hello. I just go, I
how
don't have any
much?
money.
Yeah. And usually my answer's going, if they come in with a cake for me or pastry or a cup of coffee and go, all right, how much? So, or have you hit the car? That's usually the one. uh, Ladies and gentlemen of the world, it is an absolute, total, and utter honor to have my dear friend and brother, Roger Garza Sr., here with me tonight. Um, I had an idea that we were going to sit and talk about stuff, but you know what? It's been perfect tonight.
Yep.
It's been a perfect start to the weekend. My weekend starts tomorrow, being that it's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm going to have a day off. I'm literally am. If you guys need me, then I will answer for you if you really, really need me. If not, I would really like a day off, please. But if you do need me, then I'll be here for you. Trudy says tonight has definitely brought back some fantastic memories. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget tonight, right after this show, you're going to have the beautiful Michelle and Amelia with their show Outer Limits. Make sure you stick around for that. You're listening to both of us tonight on 105.3 to 107.7 FM, coming to you on UPRN, that's United Public Radio Network, Talk Radio, coming to you live from New Orleans. Roger's going to be hanging around. You're going to see Roger on Saturday morning if you're living in the Central Time. If you're living in our time, you're going to see Roger around 4:30, and then I see you guys all at 8 p.m. GMT. That's around about 3 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. This mug's for you. Life is love, and love is life. Don't forget to communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life. So a medium never has to do it for you. Until I see you again, good night, God bless, stay safe, look out for each other, and just take some time out for yourself every single day. Doesn't hurt. Good night, God bless.